Hey everyone, welcome back to Anna Nail School English channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you how to work on bitten short nails. So this is a regular client of mine and today we are going to dive into a deep tutorial on how to work with bitten short nails. So before I start, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, share it with your friends and all those good things. So let's begin with the tutorial. So first let's have a look at the nails. As you can see, we have really short bitten nails and also the cuticle is like highly keratinized here. So as a basic step, we need to start with pushing back the cuticle. So to push back the cuticle, here I am using an orange wood stick. You can also use a metallic pusher. So orange wood stick I prefer using because this is like use and throw. You can use it for this particular service, and once you're done you can throw it away. So here I'm pushing back the cuticle and opening up the cuticle pocket so that later we can do a deep dry manicure using electric file. After the pushing back of cuticles, I switched to my electric file. So I'm using a flame bit here and my machine is running at 18,000 rpm. If you think you need more speed, you can increase the speed, but if you're a beginner, then make sure you are at a comfortable speed. So when I was a beginner, I started with like 6,000, 7,000, and eventually once I will become like more professional, I was able to like bring up the speed to 18,000 to 20,000 rpm. Okay, so in case if you wish to learn electric file, you can join one of our classes. All classes are one-on-one. You will be getting theory and practical knowledge from the classes, also a certification after the exam. So if you are interested, do let me know. The classes are available in English, Hindi, Malayalam and Tamil languages. So just let me know. The contact details are in the description of this video. Okay, so here as you can see, I'm doing my bit movement from the left side to the right side. That's why my electric file is running on the reverse mode. Okay, if you're doing it from the right side to the left side, then you can use the forward mode. So you need to switch between the forward and reverse mode. Now another thing, whenever you're working with a nail like this, you need to make sure that the dry manicure is really done well, because anyway, since the nail bed is really tiny, the durability of the extension is anyways it's a question mark. Okay, so normally whenever I do it, I make sure it lasts at least 3 weeks for the clients so that they can come back to me. So mostly it lasts for 4 weeks, but if you're a beginner, then obviously this will be like more challenging, especially the retention. Okay, so here as you can see, the white thing that you're seeing here is like really tight sticky cuticle dead skin, which I'm using my electric file to remove. Sometimes when I do this, I increase the speed to again 22,000 also, because this better speed you use, your work will be fast and efficient. Okay, again, if you're a beginner, obviously I don't recommend you to go on 22,000 for a dry manicure. You can start with, like I said, 8,000 and then eventually you can increase it up to 16 or 18,000. For dry manicure normally it's 16 to 18,000, but in certain scenarios like this particular finger here, I increase the speed. Okay, so while removing the dead skin, I'm also just ensuring that the surface shine of the nails are also removed, and I'm also pushing back and rolling back the cuticle skin so that later I can trim it off. So this client, she's particularly terrified of the cuticle trimming. It's not that we cut or anything, but she's like a little, oh my god, this is a step I'm so scared of because I tell her not to move, and I'm sure you also will tell your clients not to move, right? So obviously we are using like a really sharp cuticle nipper to do this, so obviously it's a little scary. So here I'm pushing back the cuticle completely. Now it's time for us to move on to the next step. So the next step is to trim down the cuticle. So I'm using a nipper from the brand called Cards. It's a Chinese brand. You can find it in AliExpress, or you can check out their website if you want to. It's really sharp and it does the job really well. Now another thing, if you are using a nipper or a scissor, you have to make sure that your equipments are like sanitized, disinfection and sterilized before or after every single use. Okay, so here I'm doing the cuticle nipping. So since here we have a lot of keratinized skin, it's not going to go in one go. Obviously you need to be careful you're not cutting into the live skin. So after this I use my electric file to kind of buff off that extra uneven cuticle skin here. After trimming the cuticle, I again used my electric file to just clean up the rest of the areas, because like I said, we had a lot of keratinized skin, so it's not going to go in like one trimming. So I use my e-file to again to trim and lift up any leftover or keratinized skin or any dead skin around the cuticle area. After the cuticle cleaning, I switch to a hand file. So every client I use a brand new filer. So we need to like do a little prep of the hand file. So this way we are going to buff down the sharpness of the new hand file, so that we don't hurt the client while filing their cuticle area. Now I'm using my hand file to gently buff off any remaining shine from the nail plate. I will not be using any kind of pressure here, because we already filed the nails using the e-file, so we don't want to over file the nails. We are just buffing and like making sure that there is no shine or anything on the nail plate. Okay. Once this is done, just make sure you're dusting off all the dust from the nail plate, and you can also dust off your own hands, because there is going to be like a lot of dust. You can use a dust collector to collect all this dust, but when I do dry manicure I mostly don't use it, but I'll always have my mask on. Okay, so now next up we are going to clean the nail plate using alcohol and lint free wipe. Just make sure the nail plate is absolutely clean. We don't want any dust or like oil, moisture, anything on the nail plate. So if you follow all these steps thoroughly, you can like literally assure the client that these nails are gonna last at least 3 weeks. Okay. The next step is to apply dehydrator. Since these nails are bitten short nails, we won't be adding any tips because there is no space to attach a tip. So we will be using paper foams. So that's the reason I am directly applying dehydrator. In case if you have a client where you are able to attach the tip, then make sure you're attaching the tip, refiling the tip, and then you can start with your dehydrator. Once the dehydrator is done, I'm going to apply a primer. I will be using an acid free primer. So both the primer and dehydrator are from the brand called Model Ones. It's like really good quality. So if you are using a good primer, again that will help with retention. Just make sure you have a good one. So I recommend Young Nails primer and Model Ones primer, and then if you are from India, then you can check out Ranara. Okay, so I have applied the primer. Now we'll start with the foam fitting. So I'll be using these golden foams. First I peeled it off from the sticker, and then I used that small part underneath the foam, and then I attach the tip of the foam just like this, and then I use a scissor to cut the back side of the foam. You can also use your fingers to pull it open, but I prefer using a scissor. And then I'm going to measure the corners of the client's finger here. So I just roughly place it here and just mark where the growth points of her nails are, and then I like take it off, and then I do like a deep cut on the corner. So I do this step because I want to make sure the foam is like properly fit underneath the nails. Foam should never be wider than your natural nails. It should always sit inside the nail bed. Okay, again after cutting it, I have held the client's hands fingers like this, and then attached the foam this way, and I made sure the foam is really tight around the growth point, yani that is your cuticle the free edge area. You can also ask the client if they feel that tightness around that free edge area. And then let's start with the product application. Today I will be using a brand new brush. So this I got from Temu. So I have monomer here, and I have TNT brand's acrylic powder, and monomer is also from the same brand. And I prepped my brush, and I am going to start with the application process. So first I am going to dip my brush into the monomer, and then I am going to make contact with the powder, and once I rest it for like 3-4 seconds, I just dab, and then I pick up the bead. I dried it on the tissue a little bit because so like I said, the nail is like really shortened, so I want the powder to be a little tighter. I don't want it to be running all over the place. I want it to be in a clay like texture. so that's why I dried the bit a little bit, and plus the temperature in my room was a little colder, so I wanted to make sure that it's setting in the right speed. Okay, so I place the bead at the free edge, and then I'm kind of connecting the bead to the free edge of her nails, and once I have all the edges are kind of connected with the product, then I'm going to stretch and create the shape I wanted to. So I am kind of going for an almond shape here, so I am just gently patting it down, and also at the same time simultaneously I'm pulling it towards the length that I am going to keep. So if your client says I want, like for example, I want 2 centimeter long nails, just always go for like 2.5 centimeter. Okay, so that if it's like if your length is smaller, you can't do anything about it now, but if you have a little extra, you can always like file and adjust it. Okay, so here I did not fast forward the process that I am following, because I want you to see the kind of time and effort it takes to like kind of build that free edge structure of the nails this way. Like I said, even though I used like a little fast setting monomer, it was still taking a little time to kind of set the product to like become a little tight. So after the first bead, again I went back into my monomer, I dipped it in, I released the excess monomer into the dipping dish. In case if you don't know how to pick up a bead, like a perfect bead, do let me know, I'll create some small shorts for you. And now I picked up like a small size bead, because obviously the nail bed is smaller. For this finger I think I did a 3 bead application technique, but the rest of the fingers I did it with 2 bead application. So you can either follow a 2 bead application technique or a 3 bead application technique, it's completely up to you. So this way I just made sure that the nails have like a good thickness around the center of the nail area. And now we are going to do the third bead, which is the most important bead, because we are going to create the apex and the cuticle side. Okay, so I place the bead a little far from the cuticle, then use the brush to gently push the bead towards the cuticle skin, and also at the same time I made sure that it's going side to side, and then I'm using the brush to kind of blend it with the rest of the nail that I have already sculpted. Okay, so just making sure the cuticle is clean and the apex is nice and tight, because we don't want too much of a height, because the nails are going to be like smaller. Even if you build a little extra apex, that's totally fine, we can later file it. But if you want to avoid the time in, like you want to save time in filing, then just make sure that the amount of product you are putting is like just perfect. Okay, so that way you can save your service time. Okay, so here we are kind of done with the product application, and the nails are looking totally fine. You can always have a look and see if you want to go ahead and do more. Okay, next I wanted to show you something. So here on the thumb finger, if you see, we have like a bit of a puffy skin. Okay, in such fingers it's very difficult to attach the foam, because the skin comes in between. So I'm just going to quickly show you how the foam is going to fit if you don't do like an additional step, which I'm going to show you next. So let's just see how it is going to happen. So I just prepped a foam and I tried to attach it, and you can see the foam is not going all the way in, because the skin is stopping it from going all the way in. Even if you do like a little bit of cutting and trimming of your foam, it's still not going to work. So let's see how we can fix this problem. So to avoid that puffy skin, what I did here is I used a tape and I pulled that skin downwards, and then I kind of pasted that tape below the finger, so that now that puffy skin is pulled down. Okay, so now it's not gonna come in between me and my foam and the nails. So for the thumb I am using a different foam, because the foam that I was using, that's a smaller version. Since the thumb, even though it's a bitten short nail, but the thumb is a little wider, so I want a little bit more bigger wider foam. That's why I switched into this one. Again I measured the growth point, and then I did this cut, and then I attached the foam to the client's nails. So like I said, since I attached the tape to the finger and I pulled it down the puffy skin. So now I'm easily able to attach my foam. So if you have ever heard of this technique, do let me know in the comment section, and if you are hearing it for the first time or seeing it for the first time, then also let me know in the comment section. Okay, so if you have ever worked on such nails, do let me know how was your experience. If you have followed any particular tips, do share. Okay, so now the foam is ready. So we are going to now do the product application. Finally, we are done with the product application. So now it's time for us to remove the forms and then do the filing and shaping. So to remove the form, you just have to pinch it, open it and pull it down, and it will come off easily. I did the filing and shaping offline. After filing, shaping and buffing, I'm going to use my lint free wipe and alcohol to kind of clean up the nail plate. So this is how the nails looks like, small almond nails. And once this is done, we are going to start with our color application, and then the process will be kind of completed. So I'm using a milky white milk base color here. So this one is from the brand called Shills. I really like this color, so I wanted to do a gel ombre. So this is going to be like my base color, because my client wanted to go for a marriage and her dress was kind of a lavender purple color, so we wanted to do like a nude color with a lavender ombre effect. After curing the gel base, I pulled up my patty gel, and I'm using a lavender, purplish lavenderish color. It's not purple, it's not lavender, it's in between. So I'm using like a small sponge to kind of dab in the color. Once this is done, we are going to cure it and then we are going to top coat it. So we top coated it and we finished it like this, and this is the final look, and the client loved it and I was really happy with the way the nails turned out. And I hope you guys like this video. So that was the tutorial. Do let me know if this video helped you understand the process of how to work on a bitten short nail. If yes, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, comment on this video. I'll see you soon on my next video. Until then, stay safe, stay happy. Thank you for watching.